We are coming.
Metal ranchos, metal ranchos, metal ranchos, metal ranchos.
All right, we're back. Happy Wednesday. Circling Back Podcast. My name's Will DeFries. Today in the studio with me, some of you know him as Roger Dorn. Some of you know him as El Glizzadente. Me, I just call him Dillon. Dillon Shivery, how's it going today?
You know, Will, it's going pretty well. Pretty well. I'm excited to be here. Got cooler weather on the forecast. We have a fantastic weekend coming up. But I want to start off with like a mini steam, if I can.
Yeah.
Can you allow me to?
Yeah.
Can people stop saying Zeitgeist?
Dude, you've just heard it more in the office lately.
Okay, 6 months ago, that wasn't even a word.
Yes, it was.
I'm pretty sure no one used the word Zeitgeist. Now I'm seeing it. Randy said it this morning.
Yeah, because it's in the Zeitgeist.
I'm seeing it all over everything. Just shut up about Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist.
Where did this word come from?
Oh man, you're making a big mistake by asking people to stop saying it.
Yeah.
It's a weird word. It's snooty. It's like, oh yeah, shut up.
Dillon,
Zeitgeist.
a bar that I used to frequent often, mainly because they had cheap beer, was called Zeitgeist in San Francisco, and that was like 15 years ago.
For real?
Dude. For real.
I bet people pull up to the bar and ask themselves, what the fuck is a Zeitgeist? Because no one knew. I hate it. I don't use it, and I ask that you all stop using it as well. Thank you very much. And that concludes my steam room today.
If I've learned anything about backers, it's that if you ask them to not do something, they totally stop, dude. They don't
double
anything.
down, aren't they?
When I asked everyone to stop sending me the Miller Lite Vortex bottle video, more on that later, about just how, Vortex bottles were a thing. Yeah, my DMs did not let up.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand I'm asking for trouble here, but I just had to get that off my chest. It's super annoying. And Randy, you were annoying this morning when you said it, but I forgive you. Just don't say it again.
Well, you're probably wondering, why is it a two-man booth right now? And unfortunately,
I see a third.
Dave kind of got stuck in his bag, and he hasn't been able to get out.
He couldn't get out.
If you listen to yesterday's spooky season, where we welcomed a guest named Nikki the Knife,
AKA El Pumpcarino.
Yeah, you will know that I don't know if Dave's ever been in his bag more than he was yesterday.
I said this on Twitter, and I put a lot of thought into it before actually tweeting it because it was quite a statement that I made. But it was not only the best spooky season we've ever done, in my humble opinion, it was a top 5 episode all time that we've done at Wash Media.
The rate at which Dave was coming up with things that a old school Italian mobster would come up with, it just the phrases he was using, I was like, okay, all these years of rewatching The Sopranos has it's altered his brain in a way that I didn't realize.
It was impressive because he clearly, I think he jotted down some phrases to use that were gonna land, and they did. But he also was just going off the cuff with a few of them. He was feeding off of us and just absolutely nailing lines. And I've never seen Dave so in his bag.
It's crazy that are you doing a lines joke?
Yeah, he said nailing lines.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's crazy that we had noted MLB superstar Brent Rooker on the episode.
But he wasn't even the highlight.
Noted P-job master.
No offense to Brent. He was great.
And we have to bury that lead because Dave was just so in the bag.
It was incredible.
If you want to go check it out, patreon.com/circlingbackpodcast. There's a week free trial for anyone out there who's looking to dip in. Can you buy this episode on demand, Randy?
Yeah. So also Patreon offers to buy just single episodes if you want. So if you want to do that, go on Patreon, just buy one episode if you just want to try one.
We've gotten 2 of those. 2 people have purchased episodes.
Yeah, if you want to do a small loading phase, that might be an interesting way to do it. I would implore you to just do the free trial and see how you like it.
Yeah.
But yesterday's episode of Spooky Season really set the tone for the rest of Spooky Season, which excites me.
It sure did. Very exciting stuff.
Dave's in Pinehurst, dude. That's frat.
That is frat. Yeah. I had an opportunity to go to Pinehurst for my buddy's 40th about a year and a half ago, and I wasn't able to do it. Conflict, but yeah, I regret that one quite a bit. even though I'm not a golf guy, still Pinehurst, you can't pass up.
I've gotten no invites to Pinehurst, so if anyone wants to invite me to Pinehurst, I'm right here. You know where to find me. My DMs are always open.
You want to go to Pinehurst with me?
I'm just looking for an absolute squad to mob with at a dope golf course that's not in the state of Texas. So if anybody wants to do that with me, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a golf trip coming up with some of my loots.
Michigan?
Two of them are from Michigan.
Is it in Michigan?
It is not. It is not. It's in the Carolinas, and I'm excited for it. It's an interesting golf trip because normally people do like long weekends somewhere. Like, oh, I'll fly out Thursday. We'll get some 36 in on Friday. Due to work obligations from the rest of the crew, I committed to doing a Monday to Wednesday golf trip, which normally isn't how you're supposed to structure these things. It's
Monday
not
to
exactly the most
Wednesday.
convenient thing in the world.
When are you going?
Next month. Next month. November. How's it going, Randy?
It's going good. I'm just enjoying be here. Just wondering what's in the zeitgeist this episode. Just having fun.
Right.
The Zeitgeist.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah.
T's and P's out to our friends out there that are in the path of Milton. I understand it's a pretty scary situation, and all the best to you folks.
Yeah.
Very scary.
I flew into Fort Lauderdale a couple weeks ago.
Right after Helene came through, I believe.
It was during when it came through. Fort Lauderdale wasn't going to be affected by it, but just like, the wind, the waves, everything was, you could see how much it was popping just from that. And it was just kind of a weird time to be in Florida because you knew that other parts of Florida were just setting up for devastation. And the amount of fear and stuff going into this one surpasses all the fears that were for Helene. Like it's just, I really hope that everyone's getting out safely and is going to be okay from this.
Yeah, I understand the storm is going to lose a little bit of intensity as it approaches shore, but not enough. So
yeah, prayers up.
Scary.
Prayers up.
Scary.
I am so thankful that I have not had to deal with something like this because I can't imagine being in this situation for people.
Yeah, Austin luckily is not in the danger zone of many natural disasters, but
even when Harvey came through and kind of hit and not kind of hit Houston hard, hit Houston really hard. We got so much rainfall from that it was like there was a lot of flooding in Austin, but like it's just nothing compares to what can possibly happen here.
Very scary.
Have you seen the Captain Ron? People are comparing him to not Captain Ron, maybe Captain Ron actually. I've seen him compared to Captain Ron as well as Lieutenant Dan, the guy who's just staying on his boat.
Yeah.
I need this guy to live.
Yeah.
I need this guy to live.
I saw a tweet yesterday, and I don't know how accurate this is, but this young lady clearly lived in Florida, and she was like, wow, our mayor just said if you don't evade the city, you will die.
Yeah.
And while that does sound pretty extreme, it also will get your attention because if people who are like, no, I can power through. I'm going to be all fine. I'm different. Like, no, you're not.
One of the main issues is that people if I was looking at some stuff last night and people who haven't evacuated yet are having trouble evacuating because the roads are just so packed.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do you do? You don't want to be stranded in a car when it comes through. But
Yeah.
Ticket prices to get out. Like, I don't know if there's anything airlines even want to do to help people, but like the plane tickets to get out, even when this first started becoming something in the news cycle, it was like, oh yeah, American Airlines, shittiest airline out there, they were doing it was over $1,000 to fly out. It's like, you need to figure out a way to get local residents out.
You can't surge pricing during something like this.
I know it's probably all automated and everything like that, but you need to have some type of natural disaster contingency plan because American Airlines should get dunked on for about a million different reasons. They're easily the worst airline out there right now going. Yeah, like everything, hotel prices, it's just, and like apparently in the neighboring states too, the hotels are so booked that even if you're evacuating, there's really nowhere to go stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone stay safe. To all our backers out there who are going through it, send us anything in the after area. I mean, if there's anything we can do presently, that would be like links to any support, we would love to do that.
Sure.
Toss those up in the story. If there's anything that comes up even after it makes landfall, we would also love to put some stuff up, and I'll put it up on Sunday Scaries as well, since that's got a pretty decent following of people who can probably help. Should we do some announcements?
Yes.
Tomorrow, listener voicemails beyond the paywall. In addition to spooky season this week, we have already curated this week's calls, but you can drop some in for next week. 888-618-4422, washed.substack.com. Dillon had to get out of the washed media bag to let Dave in it for spooky season. Dillon wrote an all-timer last week, and you can watch every episode at youtube.com/circlingback. We should be on track for Dillon's Track House tomorrow. We're doing some major updates to the Golden Tee machine.
Yeah, we've got 5 new courses headed our way. The update should be finished here in an hour or so that should be good to go for tomorrow. So that's fun. That's fun for me.
Are you currently in the market for some new balls on this Golden Tee machine?
I have purchased new balls that I haven't been able to use yet because the update hadn't gone through. But
what makes the new balls special?
They're longer, and it gives me a little bit more spin. Spin rate is higher around the greens. Like, it's got more bite to it and more backspin on the greens. But yeah, the Cosmos is what they're called.
Sick.
Pretty pumped.
As always, washedmedia.shop for all your Washed Media merch needs. We had a meeting yesterday regarding Christmas sweaters or holiday
we could do
sweaters.
a whole segment on this, honestly.
I would absolutely do a segment on it had Barstool not stolen one of our most popular designs a couple of years back when we showed our hand too early. So,
not the first time they've stolen something from. The last one was from Grand X, but
yeah, I mean, if you own a Barstool I Was Inverted Santa's Sleigh Top Gun themed sweatshirt, just know that was from the brain of a former Barstool employee, Brett Merriman.
Yeah, now a Washed employee.
Do you think there is any? Do you think Brett was maybe feeding them ideas and being like, "Hey, can I get 10% of this shirt if I give you guys like the best idea that we had?"
Ooh, I don't think Brett would do that.
I don't think you would either.
No,
I don't think you would either. Our friends over at Rowback, Washed 20 gets you 20% off anything on the site. I'm in their new arrivals right now, Dillon, and I have to say,
what are you seeing?
we're looking at very nice temperatures in the next couple weeks here in Austin, Texas, which means we get to bust out the layers, talking fleeces, talking hoodies, talking QZs, and guess what? They got them all. They've got them all. I want the Huddle hoodie. It's not their normal tech material. It's just a straight up hoodie, and if it fits like everything else from Rowback fits, I'm going to be very happy with that.
I feel like every week they have something new, and it's always so dope. Of course, they have the Game Day collection, which is a collection of university licensed apparel. Probably has your favorite university on there. If not, maybe it's coming at some point, but some really good stuff in there as well for your game day attire. Again, Washed 20. Get you 20% off.
I know.
Checkout.
I mean, if any of our Rowback people are listening right now, I just want to put it out there that I will be getting a hunting dog performance polo because it essentially just looks like a bunch of rosies on a polo.
I just saw this for the first time.
So yeah, I'm going to be wearing that on the golf course.
Oh, it does look like Rosie, doesn't it?
I know, dude. She's got a new lease on life, man. Since we moved into our house and we have like a yard that she can just freely go in and out to, she has leaned up. She is jumping higher than I've ever seen her jump in her entire life. And she is playing more fetch at a more rapid clip.
Good for Rosie.
She's just chopping out there right now.
Oh, that's great to hear.
She had a staph infection in her foot a couple weeks ago, and she was being very gingerly on her back legs, and I thought it had to do with her hips, and I was like, oh man, she's 7 years old. This is the first sign of aging, like pretty depressing. Kind of have to understand that it might be difficult from here on out if it's a hip issue. Turned out to be a staph infection, and she has rebounded like crazy.
It's great to hear.
New product alert.
What?
Jackets. You see this?
No.
They have, look at the Fulton hybrid jacket.
Well, I know they have the Fulton vest. That's like it's not like a down vest, but it's a vest that you can like actually wear and play golf in.
Yeah, no,
that's not going to be like annoying.
They have a jacket version of that as well now too. Check it out. It looks nice.
Rowback.com. Watch 20 for 20% off everything. Dillon, not to flex too hard, but I kind of went viral last night.
Man, I saw that, Will. Pretty excited for you. I noticed it. I gave it a retweet. And
Thank you.
It gained a second jet stream. So
I saw that.
You're welcome for that.
It was revealed yesterday. Actually, do you have the video, Randy? I didn't put a link in the. If you just want to pull up my Twitter.
That, boom.
Thank you.
It's right there.
Japan. This is from the tweet. Japan has invented a beer glass that makes you drink slower. The shape of the glass. Whoa! The shape of the glass is more of an hourglass, and it stops the beer from flowing out quickly. And I just don't think this is something we need in life. It's as noted, friend of the pod, Landry, tagged me in it. He said it's pretty much the opposite of a Vortex bottle.
Also, how long does it take to fill this glass when you're pouring beer in it?
There's nothing about this glass that is inspiring on any levels.
This is trash.
I would say the music is very cold call heavy.
I promise you, like literally no one asked for this. No one asked for this.
I sent a tweet out at work. I sent my tweet out at work yesterday, and my tweet just said, I'm just spitballing here, but what if instead of a beer glass that makes you drink slower, there were a long neck bottle beer with ridges in the neck, almost like a vortex that shot beer down your throat at record speeds.
Record speeds, yeah. I'd be more interested in that than this.
I took my absolute boys, my sons, out for a little, play date last night. And when I returned home and checked my phone, I was shocked at how many people were identifying with what I was trying to say. To anyone out there who does want Vortex bottles back, just know that I'm riding for you. It's been a long road. I have tagged Miller Lite in this for max visibility, and I don't know if they're going to do anything about it.
They haven't been very responsive to your previous requests.
I mean, the tweet itself has 5.9 million views, and my response tweet, which is just a direct message to Miller Lite, has 107,000 views. At this point, the amount of eyes that I'm getting on Miller Lite, I'm not asking for a sponsorship deal. I'm not asking to get paid. The best payment that I could actually get at this point would just be them bringing back Vortex bottles.
Right.
I have a friend who works in packaging. Dude's just out here packaging stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think I might need to have a behind closed doors meeting with him and say, what do I need to do to get in the boardroom of Miller Lite? What do I need to do to go up to Milwaukee and just talk to them and try to convince them to put some ridges in the damn bottles again?
This hourglass shape. Sorry to go back to this. I'm fully behind your journey here.
It's the biggest layup I've ever seen. Like, there's not to make a double entendre here, there's a thirst for this right now. There are frat burner accounts talking about Miller Lite Vortex bottles. We got all of us sitting here just wishing that we could taste that one more time. They could make so much money by just shooting beer down our throats.
And they've gone retro before, and it worked great for them.
I want them to go retro again now and bring it back to their ugly can that they had. I know their cans now are sexy, but I want them to go back to the ugly labeling for the Vortex bottles.
Sometimes go forward, you got to go back.
I still think government stepped in and were like, hey, you can't promote drinking fast. We got to get rid of the Vortex. Something happened there.
Can't you frame it
otherwise, why get rid of it?
What if you framed it as not drinking fast? And what if you framed it as maybe it takes away some of the carbonation that makes you full and burpy?
We know what the Vortex design is for, though, Will.
Do you think people have adopted your method of over foaming your beer during the pour yet?
I don't know. People probably not.
It's all I do now.
Good.
I do it every single
You're
time.
Smart.
I'm over foaming everything.
Yeah. Conventional wisdom is like, all right, pour it slowly down the side of a glass. Therefore, there's not much head on it. That's not the way you do it, because that carbonation is going to get out at some point. It's either in your glass or in your stomach, and it's going to make you super gassy if you don't do it. But this glass that these people designed, the first half you drink at regular speed, right? Because only when it gets down to the pinch and the hourglass part does it start to slow down.
Correct.
So you drink the first half at normal pace, then the second half is just like, oh fuck, I will just keep filling up the top half.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. What are we doing?
I want to get this as a gag gift for somebody for a Secret Santa this year.
Is it available for purchase?
I don't know if it is. There's no link. I haven't seen any link to it. Is it possible that Japan didn't actually invent this and this is just some Japanese video that's going viral that they're not actually doing? Yeah.
That is very possible.
People talk about how the Japanese love to take things and perfect them. Steak.
But they kind of went the other way here.
Sushi. Yeah, they are doing the exact opposite of what they're supposed to be doing with this. Randy, did you slow drink any beers while you were in Japan?
I only drank, I guess technically 3 beers while I was over there. I'm not a beer drinker.
What does it take for you to drink a beer at this point as a noted non-beer drinker?
Beer die. I will after playing at Brett's Clam Bake, I that would be the one drinking game that really gets me. I guess
Still have never played.
Flip Cup too. I mean, if they're just doing it with like beer. I'm not going to say no, give me a seltzer. But I tried it. I was at this little brewery that was like at a rest stop. I'm like, try it. And one of their beers was pretty dang good.
Sapporo is one of my favorite lagers out there.
I don't know if I've ever had like a Japanese beer that I haven't liked.
They're really good.
I ordered we were at a sushi restaurant and I wasn't really drinking that night and I didn't want to like do much, but I kind of just wanted something to sip on. And they had some ridiculous like $16 beer. And I was like, well, if I'm not drinking and everybody else is, I can order a $16 beer. And it was one of the best beers I've ever had. I had a guy respond to me last night. His name is Spearhead.
Uh-huh. Okay.
His Twitter bio is simply American nationalist, devout Protestant, supporter of the Germanic peoples of the world. Everything else is secondary, he says. 212 followers. He said, can you motherfuckers not treat beer like it's the greatest thing to ever exist for 5 minutes? I told him to not be a narc, and he called me a gay slur.
Oh. Huh.
And then everyone just started dunking on this dude for being an absolute dork.
I saw that he was getting ratioed.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite one from that was someone called him Baby Hitler. They hit him with the pledge voice in the mentions.
Is it one of ours? Is that a backer?
No, it wasn't. When I saw the pledge voice come through, it was from someone who I assumed to be a backer, and it just said, "Oh no, Baby Hitler doesn't like beer drinkers." Just other people doing pledge voice. I think they were calling him Baby Hitler because he supports the Germanic people of the world, which like just kind of says like, yeah, I'm into white people.
Okay, it does give that a little bit. I understand.
American nationalist who loves Germans or Germanic people.
Gay slur, huh?
Yeah,
I think that was called for.
Yeah, I think the bar's kind of low based on the rest of the guy's tweets, but we just out here.
We just out here? Okay.
Dude, I think I'm going to be on my Marsden grind this fall.
James?
I mean, if James Marsden wants to drink some Marsdens with me, should we like do a Marsden beer collab? I didn't know what a Marsden was. Do you know what these are?
Of course I do, but for people at home who may not know what it is, go ahead and tell them.
They're becoming in the zeitgeist for sure.
Yeah, dude, Marsdens are like super in the zeitgeist right now.
They're just not.
It's a German lager beer style with the following characteristics. You ready for this? Amber orange to deep reddish copper color, bright clarity.
I'm already in
an off-white foam. The aroma is German malt, typically rich, bready, somewhat toasty, light bread crust notes, and the flavor is a little sweet. I have to say, we got a Marsden for Chartoberfest last week, my son's first birthday, and I had so many.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, I had so many people walk up to me and say, "This is such a good beer."
It was so good. It was really, really good. 5.8 ABV, I believe.
Yeah, she was a heavy one.
Look, it's the best time of year for beers, and that's not debatable. You got your brown ales, you got your Marsdens. Marsden or Marsden?
Marsden.
Marsden?
No D.
Marsden. And of course your Oktoberfest beers. I still haven't had a Samuel Smith nut brown ale yet this fall.
I haven't had one in a couple seasons.
Need to go to Central Market or something. Or what's that one that Dave goes to? The beer store.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Dave goes to like every liquor store.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like he's an alcoholic. No, Dave just likes to go hunting.
He does.
He likes to go hunting for like good bottles of bourbon. He knows a lot more about that than I do. I had 3 Guinness the other night. I bought an 8-pack of Guinness in case we ran out of beer at the party, so I could offer people like more beers.
Smart.
For any late stragglers there, but then no one did it.
By the way, the weather coming up is giving Kelly's Irish Pub.
It is. If you're one of my loots, just know that you're probably going to get a calendar invite for me the first weekend night where there's a high in the 60s, because I will be organizing an absolute boys meetup at Kelly's Irish Pub.
I'm seeing high of 72 next Wednesday, which is we're flirting with it.
Fuck. What if we cannot have Texas, Georgia be like the first day where like things are in the 60s, because everyone's going to be wanting to watch that, and we can't do that at Kelly's Irish Pub while you're at the game.
I will be at the game.
Maybe it's a Friday, John.
You know I'm there. All I need is that invite, and I'm there.
Well, something else that's a beautiful thing to do during the fall is Just watch the boys of summer just absolutely mobbing the playoffs. And Dillon, you're a baseball guy.
I am. Watched a hell of a game last night, actually.
Which one?
Philly. I'm sorry, not Philly. What am I talking about? San Diego, LA.
I watched the first inning.
It was awesome. Big bats are just alive in this series.
So,
Tatis Jr. is on a tear.
Ever since I moved to Austin, Texas, Detroit sports kind of hit the skids for a bit. For about 7 years. Really nothing to watch there. Red Wings not making the playoffs for the first time in 2 decades. Tigers were terrible. Pistons are just an abomination. And the Lions eventually were the first turn of the page to a new chapter. And now the Tigers have stormed back to make the playoffs. But I found myself with a little conundrum, Dillon. I have not watched a single Tigers game before this playoff run. I don't know anybody on the team besides the dudes that have showed up in the playoffs now, and now I know their names. I've got one of my friends from Michigan who sent me a breakdown of all the personalities on the team, just so I would have some type of basis for it, which helps. But I'm kind of at a breaking point where I just don't know how to handle this because there was a period of my life right before I moved down to Texas where the Tigers were easily my favorite sports team. I loved watching them every night in the summer after I got home from work. I would literally drink some Vortex bottles with my boys and just watch the games. To the point where we had friends who weren't Tigers fans being like, guys, we got to stop watching every Tigers game. Like, it's really, it's like no girls want to hang out with us ever because we're just watching the Tigers all the time.
So are you feeling a little bit fair weather at the moment?
I am. And I don't know what to do about it because I've never adopted a different baseball team. I don't care about any other baseball teams. And I deeply do care about the Tigers as an organization, but I also don't want to be the guy who's walking around acting like I know everything.
Okay.
What do I do?
I have some thoughts on this. I think everyone has a little bit of fair weather to them to some degree. For me, it definitely applies to anything non-Texas football. Cowboys, I'll throw that in there as well. I guess just football in general. Like I'm a Rangers fan. I'm a Spurs fan, but the Spurs haven't been good since their dynasty run.
Did Wemby not turn him around immediately?
Not immediately. Spurs are going to be all right. They're just not great yet.
Okay.
And so I don't watch games. I don't pay close attention. Obviously the Rangers they won the World Series last year, so I was very dialed into that. But I am. You can accuse me of being somewhat of a fair weather fan. Now, I've always been a Texas Rangers fan, and so when they get good again, my attention will be back on them. You are from Michigan.
Yeah.
Detroit is famously in Michigan.
4 hours south of us. So it's not like I could just pick up and go to a game all the time.
You've always been a Tigers fan, even though you don't always pay attention to them. That's your team. You've never deviated from that. You didn't become a Rangers or a Astros fan just because you moved to Texas.
I had my A's phase, but I wasn't a fan of the A's. They just entertained me for free on television while I was poor in San Francisco. But that's as close as I've gotten to enjoying another team's success. And they didn't have any of that season.
It is completely fair and within bounds for you to hop back on this wagon.
I don't want to be the guy tweeting about it who didn't tweet about any of the regular season because I think that's a tough look. I don't want to be like walking around acting like I'm living and dying by like every pitch because I simply don't have like the personal investment in the team. But having playoff baseball back, it's nice. It's nice. I just feel like I don't deserve it.
Playoff baseball is so much fun. Every pitch is so important. I mean, it stakes are so high. It's the environments are fantastic. Every at bat is crucial to your team's success. You have guys that'll have great seasons and then just lose it in the playoffs. They'll just slump or whatever. And it's like I don't know. Everything just intensified and I don't know. It's so much fun. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is totally fair. I don't think anyone will judge you for being like, oh, I'm so in on this Tigers team, even though you didn't watch a regular season. It's the playoffs. And
I don't know what to do around the house.
What do you mean?
Because we got 2 kids to take care of and stuff. You know how that be. And I can't act like the Tigers playoff game is more important than like doing like okay, let me put it this way. During like Texas games, I know that Sally is a bigger Texas fan than me. And so I will try to take more of the responsibility within the house during that time so that she can enjoy this game.
Yeah.
If she wants to go to a game with some of her friends from college, then like I would raise my hand and be like, oh, no problem. I'll take care of the boys, whatever. She doesn't really do that. But if she wanted to do it, it's like, no, I will take on that responsibility. I'll be the main parent for the day to take care of stuff so you can go enjoy one of those things. Like I can't just sit there and be like, hold on, babe, I got to watch the end of this inning because she's like, well, come on, you didn't care about this.
Keep the game on. You're aware of what, even if you don't watch every pitch, you're aware of what's going on while tending to your fatherly duties.
I was playing with my son outside the other day when Carpenter hit the 3-1 bomb on Cleveland to essentially win the game in the 9th inning. They had to obviously get through the bottom of the 9th. But I was watching it through the window while playing with my son and my dog outside. And that home run alone reinvigorated me a lot.
Okay, even describing what you just, like that scenario where like there's an important game on, your team's playing, and it's obviously the playoffs, and you're still like doing your dad shit, that's commendable. I think that's better than
But I was also watching
I
was watching through the window of the outside, just like watching and then celebrating in my yard.
Yeah.
My neighbor David probably thought I was a psycho.
Yeah. The only team I get, okay, so I've been dating Chelsea since February. And so most of that obviously was before football started.
Mm-hmm.
She has learned that I'm somewhat crazy about Texas football. And so when Texas is on, she's seeing a different version of me. They just gets like the highs and the lows are just, I mean, they affect me quite a bit. Texas OU is
the
this
lows
weekend.
affect you way more than the highs. No offense.
Yeah, I get it. We watched the Michigan game with my family, and I was just, I don't know. I'm a different person when Texas is on. Anyway, all of that is to a much greater scale when Texas plays OU. That is the one game of every season that I look forward to it the most. I as soon as it's over, I'm like, I can't wait for the next one to happen. It's so much fun. Texas hasn't been great in that series of late, and that's okay. But she's about to see a whole new me on Saturday, and I'm a little bit worried about it. If things go well, everything's fine. But if Texas starts to lose, and if Texas does lose the game, I'm a pouty little bitch for the next 4 or 5 hours, and I'm worried that eventually she is going to see that side of me, and I'm just going to be like, look, I'm going to lay it out for her, like, look, this is who I am. I can't change. I'm sorry. I know that I act like a little baby, and I'm sorry, but it's going to pass. I'm going to be back to myself again.
I moved to Texas when they were famously horrible.
Yeah.
Charlie Strong years.
A tough time.
And so I saw a lot of anger from you. I can report that I've bought a new shirt ahead of the Texas OU game.
No way.
It got in last night, Dillon.
What?
I was searching. I went online the other day.
Where do you find this
All
stuff?
I searched for online the other day, I just searched Comfort Colors University of Texas shirt. I just wanted a Comfort Colors
It's not even Comfort Colors.
It's not even Comfort Colors. The first result that came up was this, and I was like,
Wow.
wow, I feel like I have to get this. $22, free shipping, no returns. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting this Texas. There's no way this shirt is legally made.
It's Grateful Dead themed.
I feel like you can find any Grateful Dead, any collab, anywhere. It doesn't matter.
I don't think the company that printed this shirt has rights for the Grateful Dead logo, and I don't think they have the rights to put Texas, the University of Texas at Austin on it.
Most likely, yeah, this is illegally made.
Well, I ordered it in a size large because I had fears that this shirt was going to be of the shittiest quality, and I can report that it's of the shittiest quality. I washed it last night to shrink it because it was hilariously big on me. And not only did it shrink to under a size medium, but a lot of the printing on the shirt has already you can see it already wearing off, and so it's just going to look like a really shitty shirt in the next few weeks.
Though.
I know. I was like, Sally's going to hate that I put this on to go to a tailgate.
It's a burnt orange. It's a Grateful Dead themed T-shirt with the burnt orange. What do you call the logo there? Is there a name for it?
They call it the Steely.
The Steely.
Steely logo.
Which, I mean, it looks cool, obviously, and it says Texas, University of Texas at Austin under it. It's a cool shirt.
I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get this and do it. I don't know what we're going to do this weekend for the game, but Sally's going to not be happy. I mean, here's the thing. I'll wear this around like her family and stuff, but if I'm actually stepping out, like stepping out in the heat, whatever, I'm rocking that Rowback.
Well, yeah, you kind of have
This
to.
would feel good underneath the Rowback sweatshirt with the Longhorn on the chest, though.
It's
So
a cool
yeah,
shirt.
we'll see how it goes. It shrunk so much. Like, have you ever just intentionally tried to shrink a shirt because it's way too big on you?
Yeah.
It shrunk so much that now the sleeves on the shirt like bow out.
Oh,
It's such a shitty shirt.
that's how J-Bone wears his t-shirts.
J-Bone.
He needs to size up in some of his shirts, I think.
What, J-Bone?
Yeah.
J-Bone.
What are your opinions on J-Bone's t-shirts? How much you talking to J-Bone these days? Are you calling J-Bone enough?
I am definitely not calling J-Bone.
What the hell,
But
dude?
he calls me all the time, so I don't have to. I feel bad. He always mentions like, I always have to call you, right? I'm like, yeah. I do. It's because he always calls me when he's on a dog walk. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I'm usually available. I don't know when he's available.
I'm not calling my boys enough.
I don't call my boys enough.
I need to
either.
start calling my boys more.
Yeah.
I think we should start like a quota. You got to call at least 3 of your boys a week on your commute.
Dial up your absolutes, man.
I always just call my parents. You know,
That's better than your loots.
it is. It is. Like, I don't feel bad about that.
Parents love to hear from you. Dude, proudly root for your Tigers.
Do you have any?
No shame.
Okay, I will. I just don't want, like, the second someone calls me out for it, which is now going to happen if I tweet anything about it, like, I'm just going to get killed. The one thing I am going to do to supplement my support of the Tigers is that whatever team we're playing, I'm going to shit on that team no matter what, which is nice because we have both the Royals, division rival, and the Guardians in the playoffs. And so it's really easy to shit on like the division rivals. But I think I'm going to shoehorn. I'm going to go in that direction more.
What's the Detroit series at right now?
1-1. And then the game today is at 2 p.m. Central Time, Central Standard Time, Central Date Time, Central
This round is best
Daylight.
of 5.
Subjective Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
We did receive, as a company, we received an invite for me, Dave, and Dillon to go to the games 3 and 4. Unfortunately, that is not happening. Fingers crossed that the Tigers can pull this series out. Who knows? Maybe there'll be an ALCS invite out there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
They got a shot, man.
But man, I really felt like a prize when they picked us for that opportunity.
That's the biz.
You know what else is a prize? Prize Picks.
Oh, yeah,
Here's
buddy.
the thing. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and right here at home in Texas. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Here's the thing, Dylan. If you want to play Prize Picks, you can do it alongside some absolute hitters. You know who's been one of the most entertaining people for me lately online?
Who's that?
Drewski.
Really?
Yeah, you can play against Drewski.
Oh.
I'm in an algorithm on Twitter where Drewski is just getting served to me at all times. And I'm not saying no to it because I'm watching every single video.
He's a funny dude.
You can also go up against, Joe Budden, MMA champ Sean O'Malley. I know you're a big Sean O'Malley fan.
I am.
You're no
big time.
Malhead. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So you play $5, you get $50. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, which is where every single Tuesday Prize Picks discounts select players and projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. This week on Prize Picks, they got a ton going on the football board. You can have Justin Jefferson for more than 83.5 receiving yards and Patrick Mahomes for less than 267.5 passing yards. Tyreek Hill for more than 97.5 receiving yards. Saquon Barkley for more than 67.5 rush yards. There's no shortage of options out here. Download the app today. Use code STEAM to get $50 off instantly. To get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today. Use code STEAM. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. I don't work out much. I need to. I was I
What?
wasn't going to talk about this, but I've enrolled in a Grateful Dead history class at the University of at Stanford University.
Yeah, Will's an Ivy League guy now.
And-
Oh wait, Stanford's not Ivy League. Never mind.
No, I mean
No,
it's
feels
a
Ivy
West
League.
Coast Ivy.
It feels Ivy, but it's not.
Are they Big Ten school now?
No.
No, they didn't go Big Ten. Are you sure?
US. It was USC.
I don't
and,
know.
I'm a UCLA.
Are they
Those are
ACC?
the only two.
I feel like it's an absolute brick from Stanford and the Big Ten to not get Stanford in the Big Ten with how everything was going, right?
ACC.
That's crazy. That's a mistake, right?
Interestingly, the Atlantic Coast Conference, they are not on the Atlantic Coast.
They have
at
a
all.
Pacific Coast team.
In fact, yeah, they are on the opposite side of the country.
Um,
That travel's tough.
I was watching the class. It started last Thursday, and I couldn't go because my parents were in town. So I decided to rewatch it. And they were talking about how Jerry Garcia died at the age of like 53. And they were talking about, after the age of 40, like, people who don't take care of themselves, they don't eat well, they don't exercise. And I was sitting there, I was like, man, I eat well, but your boy needs to get some exercise in the mix. But like, why do I need to bother? We got Ozempic out here, and now we have a pill that just simulates running a 10K.
Okay, I'm seeing this for the first time. This is real, huh?
It says researchers in Denmark have developed a new drug that mimics the effects and benefits of strenuous exercise without moving a muscle. The study, published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry, maintains that the drug produces the same health benefits as running a long distance at a fast clip. Currently called Lake or Lake, the drug has been shown in lab rats to flush toxins and strengthen the heart.
What?
I don't really know. Like, I know biohacking's been like a thing that like, people get into. Like Brian Johnson's been trying to make his dick younger. People are taking Ozempic who don't need to take Ozempic just to like lose weight.
Just to look emaciated?
Yeah, like there's just so many different things that people are doing now that are making themselves look in shape, even though they might not be totally in shape. Which whatever, to each their own, do whatever you want to do. But I don't know if we need to have people just taking pills to simulate like all the stuff that happens. Also, like, are lab rats this is just a general question. Like, can we just guarantee that humans are going to vibe off this stuff and we're just using lab rats?
No. There's okay. If the next step is a testing period with actual human beings.
I would try this like once. I saw someone say this is just meth.
I'm wondering. Okay, I have so many questions about this. Look, I hate running. Running is the worst thing ever. I love to walk. I hate to run.
The only time that I've gotten into running was when I decided I was going to train for a half marathon that I didn't end up doing. And the only reason I got obsessed with it was because I just created a schedule for myself and started doing it. And then it was like a game for me. Like, okay, I need to do this many miles on this day, this many miles on this day. And I think without like the gaming of it, I wouldn't have enjoyed it, because going out and just running a long distance is literally one of the worst things I like in my life. I hate doing it.
It's so terrible.
We had to run 2.5 miles before soccer practice every day. And like, it made me want to quit the entire team just because I didn't want to do it anymore.
Every day before practice?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I think our coach's mentality was like, hey, if we're not the most skilled team on the field, we might as well be the best conditioned team.
I can understand that in soccer being like a huge advantage if you're just in better physical condition than your opponent, obviously. Right?
In high school, it was,
Just
I
running.
think the stat was like for high school soccer games, an average player ran about 5 miles a game. And so I started most games. I wouldn't get subbed out that often. And
you think you ran 5 total miles in a game? Is that right?
I didn't. I'll say that. I started one game at
You're a
midfield.
goalie.
What?
Weren't you the goalie?
I was not the goalie.
Oh, I thought you were the goalie. Ken.
No, I mostly played right back, and then I got some nods at striker when we played shittier teams.
We saw Will try to be a goalie one time. We saw how that went.
No, dude. So when I got on the high school soccer team, I had played goalie like a couple times in like middle school just because we needed someone, and I truly think it's way more fun to play pickup games when you have a goalie, because just shooting on an empty net's not that fun. I like shooting more than I like anything else in soccer. And so I would play goalie every once in a while just to like hope that other people would volunteer to play goalie, whatever. But I joined the soccer team late. I joined my junior year because I was playing golf for my first 2 years. And so when I joined late, we needed an extra goalie outside of our starting goalie for just practice one day. And I raised my hand, said, yeah, I'll do it. And then suddenly I got just I was made the JV goalie for the rest of my soccer career, and I was terrible. I had no skill in it. I didn't practice it. They would just be like, "Oh shit, we have a JV game today. Will, can you go play goalie for like the first half?" It's like I don't think I should be doing this.
Are we headed toward a society where everyone is just in peak physical form without having to do shit? Ozempic, this stuff. Obviously, there are like ways to gain muscle via supplement.
Yeah, like I'm doing the testosterone stuff.
Testosterone replacement or whatever.
Like, you know how I told you I'm at like a weight that I'm very comfortable with right now, and I haven't done anything to get there? I'm like, maybe the testosterone's just like doing its business.
Have you lost weight since you started taking it?
I don't think I've lost weight. I also haven't been drinking hardly at all, except
feel
for this
better?
past weekend. Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Energy is picked up?
I don't really know.
Boners are good?
I can't tell, dude. Yeah,
Just kidding.
dude. Rocked up. Everything's great. I think the issue for me is that I started doing it around the same time that I like heavily reduced my drinking, and so I'm like, okay, I don't know which one's helping more.
Okay. Drinking is I love to drink socially. Not drinking for like weeks on end it absolutely makes you feel like superhuman.
I felt invincible at the end of September.
Randy, didn't you take a long break from it too?
I took like a 2-week break, and I was just working out. I was like, I feel like a superhero.
About
I have
2 weeks.
superpowers.
About 2 weeks is what it takes for me to feel like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think, is the minimum that you need.
You feel like you have superpowers almost. You just feel healthy and energetic and like clear headed.
I was like,
It's great.
I crushed that workout. I've never had a workout that good.
But now I'm scared that like my tolerance has gone down. So I go out and have like 4 heavy beers. I'm gonna be like,
But then that Mars is
Done
just
for.
staring at you in the fridge. It's like, ah, man.
yeah. I
That
say
looks
I
so
didn't drink
fucking
that.
good.
I say I haven't been drinking that much. But if you look at like the second my parents got into town, we were having drinks at every meal, and then I threw a kegger. Just saying, Dylan. I think you caught an invite to a certain tailgate for the Georgia game,
I RSVP'd already.
and there was discussions last night with one of the parties who was maybe saying they're going to run back the same keg that we had. And I was like, please do it.
Ooh.
I couldn't enjoy the keg as much because I was trying to work the room. I had kids to take care of and figure out. So I was like I was very much not in drinking mode at the actual party until the keg stand I did. 12 seconds for those ones out there wondering. Just an absolute different beast over here. But like I'm
That's going to be a day.
I'm going to be hammering those things because they taste good.
I got to be careful because I'm going to the game. I'm sure the guys I'm going with, they're going to want to meet up and drink before the game as well. So I'll be fine. But I got to pace up a bit.
Where are your
But,
tickets for OU? Or not OU, for Georgia?
have you ever sat with Eisenhower before? Because he's
No,
taken
but
me.
I think I know exactly where his seats are.
They are 40-yard line, west side, about 35 rows up. They're excellent.
So yeah,
excellent
you'll be
seats.
feasting.
I'll be feasting. Remember the picture I took of you guys?
Yeah.
You and Drew
Yeah.
and whoever, I forgot who else you were with.
My absolutes, Hot Colin and Log Dog.
Yeah, those were from Mike's seats.
That was the game. Or no, you weren't a part of this. That's the game where I wore Birkenstocks and some girl roasted me for it. Told me I
get it.
didn't take care of my feet well enough.
She told you that?
Yeah.
That's
We were waiting
so
in line to get a
mean.
beer.
She did not say that to you.
She was, I think one of the guys was like, started talking to us, and then one of the guys asked like, "Hey, like how's my game day fit?" And then she goes, well, "Better than his." I was like, "Okay, why am I taking strays?"
Was she like a college girl that just didn't give a fuck?
No, she was a girl that was at the game with her parents, and she looked really grumpy the entire time. She sat really close to us at the game, and she just looked grumpy the entire time. And I feel like she started taking it out on me and my Birkenstocks. I know you probably shouldn't wear Birkenstocks to a UT game. It's not really exactly like a normal thing to do, but I was just catching a vibe that day, and that's what I did.
I'm so pumped for that game.
I need to get into that game. I'm not willing to pay for a ticket at this point because the only thing that would make me want to buy a ticket for this game is if Georgia loses and like maybe something goes down a little
They're
bit.
very steep. I'm sure they dropped a bit after Georgia lost, but still, it's going to be one
I
versus.
don't think they did.
If Texas wins, oh really?
It's $600 to get a nosebleed seat. I'm talking second to last row, $600 for just a seat.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get in the lower bowl, it's $1,200. Easy.
I don't know how accurate this is. I saw a screenshot of one of those ticket purchasing apps of the Texas A&M Texas game. And it's twice what Texas Georgia is. Twice. I mean, it's nuts. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I said this to Sally last night because you've talked to me before about traveling. Like you think I'm insane for traveling to like concerts out of town.
Yeah.
And you own some real estate in my brain. I was like, yeah, it is kind of a wild move.
Well, okay. Also, this is coming from a guy who just doesn't like concerts.
No, but you also grew up in a city where people come here. I didn't grow up in a city where acts go, so I'm used to having to drive 4 hours to go somewhere and do something. But then I started thinking about, I was like, you know what? You know what's more crazy? People going to away games and spending $1,200 on a ticket to go maybe get their ass kicked and then just be like, wow, I just wasted all that money to see, like have the worst time of all time.
That's the thing about it is the potential of your team losing, and it like kind of dampens the whole trip.
Do you think Georgia's going to travel?
Yeah, I don't visitor tickets, they don't get a big allotment at DKR.
Do you think?
But of course you can buy secondary market and do whatever you want.
I feel like Horns fans are horned up to go to SEC schools for away games now.
Austin is a major, like, oh, we have Austin in the mix.
Yeah, do you think like Bulldog fans are like, oh man, now we get to go to Austin?
For sure. I've had people message me saying like, I'm gonna be in town for the Georgia game. Like, let's, let me know if you guys would go out for beers or whatever.
I
Like,
love the LSU crowd that
travel.
came in for the LSU game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Yeah.
I had a frat dude in a tech material polo that was 2 sizes too big for him, LSU branded, at Lil Woodrow's, tapping me on the shoulder, and he goes, dude, do you know any strip clubs we can go to right now? And I was like, I love your energy right now.
Just wanted to celebrate the big win
Like,
with some nudity.
No, this was the night before the game.
Oh,
so I was like,
my
this
God,
guy's not going to go to sleep, and he's
that's
going to
crazy.
show up to the tailgate smelling like glittery.
I guess when you're 21,
perfume.
you can do whatever the hell you want.
Can we talk old person's home for a second?
Yeah.
I kind of wish Nikki the Knife was here to talk about this real quick because it's over Vienna sausages. But someone got stabbed in the chest at a nursing home because he was accused of stealing another man's sausage.
I get it.
Do you touch another man's Vienna sausage?
No, you leave that alone. What?
It says an argument over who stole Vienna sausages at a coastal Georgia nursing home ended with one man being stabbed. Tybee Island police say that they were called to a nursing home last week where they found a man who had been stabbed in the chest. Investigators say one man accused the other of stealing his can of Vienna sausages. During the argument, one man pulled out a knife and stabbed the other. It's unclear who, if the man who stabbed was the one who lost the sausages or not. Like, are these like prisons that?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I know there's a lot of sex going on at these places. Have you heard about this?
Yeah,
they're just fucking.
Well, what else do you have to do at that age? Do the people that work there have to like wheel people into the rooms for like dates and stuff?
Maybe. Like, hey, can you take me down to Cecilia's room and just leave me there for 20 minutes?
Like, do you have to schedule that shit out, or is it
I
like
don't
you're
know.
like eating your applesauce together at the table and it's just like, hey, Cece, let's get out of here?
When someone that's this old commits a heinous crime such as stabbing someone in the chest, which is like intent to kill, it's not like stabbing them in the leg, right?
I'm not a man of the law. Like, I don't really know a lot of laws
what do
here.
you do with an old person like that?
I
Do
think
you
stabbing
charge
someone
them?
in the chest is worse than stealing the sausages.
You don't take them to jail.
Yeah, do you kind of say
Do you
like,
even know
hey
that-
guys, like, are we gonna ruin this dude's life over
we just-
Vienna sausages?
Can we just isolate him in his room and call it even?
It says it's still unclear if the Vienna sausages were actually stolen.
Well, that's when you got to get to the bottom of.
I know they say don't cry over spilled milk, but I also say don't stab your absolute boy over stolen sausages.
There are absolutes no more after this altercation.
What do you do if someone steals your glizzy at like a ball game?
It's a good question.
I probably don't stab him. I'm probably like, hey man, do you just steal my hot dog? What the fuck's your problem? And then I'll probably let it go because I don't like to fight. I don't want to fight over it. It's a hot dog. They're replaceable.
What does Texas have for food these days at the games?
They have some pretty good options. They have a Chick-fil-A. They got plenty of barbecue. Of course, they have the classic hot dog stuff too, but they have some good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plenty of local craft beers as well.
Yeah, but if you're not just drinking the tall boy Coors banquets there, then like get out of my scene.
They also have the self-service stores where there's no one working the kiosk at all. You just swipe and then they ask for a tip. And it's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to tip this machine.
They might be a little greedy. Yeah, I don't like going to concerts and spending $22 on a beer from a refrigerator and then being told to tip. How do they ID you at these things?
Beer prices at DKR, though, are not on the upper end of college football stadiums.
Correct.
Yeah, they're somewhat reasonable. I mean, you're still going to pay an upcharge, obviously, but
I don't even know if I've ever had a Vienna sausage. Are those the same things as like Little Smokies?
I don't know, actually.
Hold on.
Are they
Randy,
just-
have you had Vienna sausages?
think-
You're giving Vienna sausages.
I have Vienna beef, which is the best hot dog out there. But
Is that true?
Yeah, it's the one. Vienna beef is what makes all like the Chicago hot dogs. But Vienna sausage, I feel like it's like a little smoky, right?
It says Vienna sausages tend to be softer in texture and mouthfeel and are sliced, giving them an open-ended appearance. Although the look of Vienna sausages might remind you of Little Smokies, Vienna sausages typically have a garlicky, more seasoned flavor profile.
But
They're also typically more juicy and soft.
Are they small Little Johns?
Yeah.
Okay.
When's the last time you had a Little Smoky?
It's been years, unfortunately.
Did you have a pig in the blanket
Man,
at
I
our
didn't.
crib?
I thought that it's more of a kid play. I didn't want to take the kids' pigs in a blanket.
Well, unfortunately, Fritz had about 20 of them, and I think we only made about 50.
Parks
Every time I saw him, he was running back inside to grab one and then running back outside to hit the bounce house.
did grab a little plate of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
Sally
like-
made them last night with the leftovers, and I have to say, they absolutely hit.
I think it was the first time Parks ever had a pig in the blanket because he brought it up to me. He said, "These are so good." I was like, "Dude, go get some more."
Any major event that we do, anything that we do, if we throw a party at our place, if we're going somewhere else and there's kids, she's always just like, I'll make pigs in a blanket. I'll do it. I'll make the pigs in a blanket. It's like, we don't need pigs in a blanket for this.
Yeah, you do. You always need pigs in a blanket.
Bro, let's go out this weekend. There's a crazy event happening.
I like to turn up.
Bro, there's a crazy event happening.
Let's just go have fun and let go of it.
Little Woodrows, let's go.
This weekend in fun, presented by a new sponsor. Dylan, hit that.
We have very appropriate for Texas OU weekend. And shout out Big Tex at the State Fair of Texas. We have a new sponsor alert.
Y'all hear about this flavored air?
Yeah, buddy.
It's a category that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a whole new movement towards better habits led by the sponsor of today's podcast, Fume. Guess what? Fume's the leader in this new category. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. And guess what? Here's what you do. Dylan, I mean, you got one sitting on your desk right now.
I do.
You're not willing to go get that thing and just
You
do it?
You want me to go get it right now? I'll go get it.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
These things are fun to hold, and they actually look. They're very sexy looking. They have a great weight to them. It gives you like an old school pipe feel to it.
What if I told you that it's got delicious flavors to choose from, like I don't know, crisp mint, orange vanilla, little creamsicle action?
Orange vanilla is the one that I currently have loaded right now.
Does it
the
taste like a
cartridge.
creamsicle?
It does a little bit, yeah.
You can satisfy that oral fixation through passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. You draw it through your mouth. It fills the void of ditching a bad habit that you want to leave behind. So there's still something to reach for. It is not a vape. There's no vapor, so you can use it anywhere. There's no nicotine. It's not addictive. There's non-toxic flavor, so it's a guilt-free alternative. And there's no battery, so you never need to charge it. Go make this happen. Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and they're backed by doctors in the United States. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you too can be the next success story. For a limited time, use our code STEAM to get a free gift with your Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code STEAM to get a free gift with your order today. Dylan, what are you getting into this weekend?
Ooh, thank you for asking. I have perhaps the weekend I'm most excited for in a very, very long time. So much is going on. Of course, we already talked about Texas OU, but it starts for me with going to ACL. I am lucky enough to live really close to Zilker Park, where ACL is located. So it's just it's like a 2-minute walk to get to the gates from my place, which is really, really nice and convenient.
Yeah, I had to hike through. When we left ACL the other night, I would have done anything to live where you live, because we had to leave. We left the festival, and then we had to walk through a very, very, very dark trail up to the parking garage where we parked. And I'm not going to lie, I thought we were going to get stabbed at one point.
Yeah, honestly, it's not living close to it has been a huge drawback in the past, because getting in and out of that place it can be an absolute nightmare, especially if you stay to the end of like the final act when everyone leaves at once. Forget about it. I mean, you can't really get an Uber, and you got to wait.
Who are you going to go see?
Red Clay Strays.
Or what days are you going?
I'm going Friday and Sunday for sure. So Saturday, obviously, it's a big football day, so I might catch Dua Lipa Saturday night. But on Sunday, I'm going to start at Chapel Roan. I'm going to catch about 20, 30 minutes of Chapel Roan. Then I'm going to sprint over to Red Clay Strays and hoping the mass of people doesn't follow me over there, and I'll get a good spot for Red Clay Strays. I'm obsessed with them right now. They're so good. Anyway, Sturgill is after that on Sunday. I want to catch Sturgill. On Friday, Chris Stapleton, I believe, is the headliner Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, Stapleton and Blink-182.
I'm going to catch. Chelsea wants to see Blink.
If she wants to roll with your boy.
We might split up. Are you going? Which days are you going?
I don't know. So I'll get to that in my weekend in fun. I don't really have, I have a lot of things that I can do this weekend, but I have not solidified a plan yet.
Talk to Harbs. He mentioned linking. I don't know who else is going really.
See, I want to see, if I go Friday, I want to go, and the earliest band that I want to see is 5:30.
Who's that?
St. Lucia. I think he's more of a DJ.
Okay.
And then like Leon Bridges right after that, and that would go straight into Blink-182.
Okay, I want to see Leon and then Stapleton on Friday.
I don't know if I'm going to make it Friday, man. Because Saturday, I'll be honest, Saturday's not my favorite. Obviously, I'd like to go see Dua, but I don't think that's going to happen. And like outside of that, there's nothing that's like really trying to get me there.
Okay.
Sunday, though, you might see me Sunday. If you're there Sunday, you might see me Sunday. You know what's setting up well for you with the Red Clay Strays? They're going up against the two most popular shows that I saw while we were there. Dom Dalla and Chapel Roan.
I'm unfamiliar with Dom Dalla.
Dom Dalla's a DJ.
Okay.
I had no clue how popular he was until I saw. We had to walk by his performance in order to go to Sturgill Simpson, and it looked like a much rowdier crowd than Chapel Roan could have ever dreamed of.
DJs live don't do a ton for me.
What he does that I think would do something for people who don't like DJs live is that the set that he has that he plays from is wild. But I'm also not a big DJ guy. I don't need to go. The only reason I would like to go to St. Lucia, and I don't even know if he's a DJ. I don't know if he plays instruments or what, but I just like the music. Like I don't want to go to a generic DJ set that's just bass drops all the time.
We went to Red Clay. Dave and I went to Red Clay Strays at Bourbon and Beyond, and while they sounded great, we were so far away because it was, I think, probably the most popular act there. They've like really gained popularity quickly. So I wasn't close enough. So now that they're going to be right here, I want to run it back and see if I can listen to them and get a good spot. So I'm very excited for that one. So yeah, it's just, for me, it's a music festival and football. And I'm very, very much looking forward to it. What about you?
I don't know. I want to go see Blink-182 on Friday. Randy's been really not making this easy on me because he just says they were great.
Do it.
So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. My wife is not going to want to go to Blink-182, and so I'm gonna have to find someone to go with me, which is not going to be the hardest thing in the world. But I'm worried that a lot of people are going to want to go Friday. Are going to want to go see Stapleton, not Blink. Saturday, Texas OU. I have no actual plans right now. We might go to our friend's house for the second half after some kids have taken naps and stuff. There's ACL going on. There's also a third option here, which is a fun one. The U.S. men's national team is playing in Austin at the Q2 Stadium where Austin FC plays.
Did not know that.
We have our new manager. First look at his team that he has selected himself. They're playing Panama. The tickets are not that expensive because I think there's so much going on.
Austin is buzzing right now.
I know. There's so much. I could have an all-time day if I wanted to.
There's so much to do in the city right now. The month of October in Austin is lit.
I can't believe we've made it here. We are looking at such good temperatures. Like, I feel like I'm in a much better mood in the last 24 hours because we got that little glimpse of highs in the 70s. And it's sad that that's something that can actually change the trajectory of my life.
It absolutely changes the vibe. It's a total vibe shift.
Randy, what are you getting into this weekend?
I'm not really too sure. If someone had a free ticket for Friday, I would just go back to just watch Blink. That's it. Otherwise, probably just a pretty easy weekend. Not much planned. I had one goal this summer, and that was to ride a jet ski. So this might be the last good weather summer day. So might just go rent a jet ski.
I fucking love that you have a goal for the summer to get a jet ski, and you're completing that goal in November.
It's October.
Or October, I mean.
But still, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I might just catch up on my shows too. Got to finish Rings of Power, Vox Machina. Fantasy is very much in the zeitgeist right now, so I got to finish all that stuff.
It's pretty zeitgeisty.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's giving Zeitgeist.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Randy, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if I had an extra wristband for Friday, would you want to go with me?
I would definitely go for Blink.
Okay. I'll see. Let's see how things shake out because I don't know. I need to talk to one of the stakeholders in this wristband, which is my wife, whose wristband it is. But I don't think she's going to want to go. So I might be in touch with you.
Okay.
What time do they go on?
I think the 8:10 is.
That's not the worst. I can get the boy down.
I mean, honestly, the walk from the office to Zilker was not bad. That we just parked here and walked. It's pretty nice.
How long is the walk?
About like 25 to like 30 minutes.
It's not an uphill walk either.
It's pretty
Like you have a short uphill and then you're like just cruising the rest of the way.
exactly.
I think that might have been better than the situation we put ourselves in on Sunday. So, okay, Randy, I'll be in touch because I don't know what the move is.
Hey, just let a naysayer know.
I could easily see Sally already giving this to somebody, so we'll see. All right, guys, I think that's all she wrote.
That was a good one.
We'll be back for voicemails
Trackhouse tomorrow, 2:00 Central.
if the updates are done.
It'll be.
If the
we'll be
updates
good.
are
We'll be good.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.